Right. So last class, when we stopped the class, I showed you a few videos. Right, I showed you a few videos of what do you call uh,
IoT.
IoT, and how what is the basic concept of IoT. So IoT is basically connecting this whole world uh, where only machines interact with each other, right? So machines are going to interact with each other, and there will be less work for humans. Okay, there is a good side and a bad side in this. Can you all discuss about the good side of this automation? What is the good side of making everything automated?
Ability to save time
Yeah,
mainly,
so we can
to
spend
escalate.
time doing something more productive.
Yeah.
Automated. Okay. Anything else? Now, for now, we have some automated stuff, right? Certain things can be automatically done. So, what benefits do you see in that? Like, for example, this web page development, we did it using codes. We typed all these codes, but with Dreamweaver, we can just drag and drop, and everything gets in this code and all. Everything will be automatically generated, right? So, what is the good thing about that? You can quickly create web pages, right? For people like us, like let's say teachers, for teachers, I don't think it is a very good idea to get used to the drag and drop part. Why do you think that is?
Because you have to teach the theory to the students.
Yes, I need to know why this is coming and why this is not coming. Why this is happening? Why is this setting not right? Right? All these things I should know. But if you are a normal person, okay, 1 second. Okay, so for us, for a person, for a normal person who is a businessman, let's say you're a businessman and you don't have any uh, way of okay, let's say you're a businessman and you are going to create your own website for your business. You don't have to know how this HTML code works and all those things are not necessary for you. You just have to have a working web page and you have to try to make it as quickly as possible because it's your business. As as far as you create this software as soon as possible, it's good for your business, right? So for a person like that, it's a very good advantage. But for a person like us, for different perspective, it's advantages and disadvantages. Okay, and through this IoT, making everything automated. The thing about this is we are getting into moving on to a world which is which in which everything is automated, less work for us, which makes us lazy. Humans become lazy. That is one more thing. And we have a concept called de-skilling. What do you mean by that? De-skilling. What do you mean by de-skilling? De-skilling means your skill is lost. Now, when you don't practice something, okay. Now, let's say now you learn HTML, right? Last month, we were doing HTML codes and PHP codes, we were writing. For another week or two, because you are doing your exams, you will be practicing this, right? After you finish your exam, how many of you all would still practice writing PHP code? Very less, right? Percentage is very less. Unless and otherwise you want to excel in PHP or web designing, you wouldn't even practice it, right? When you don't practice, after about 1 year, if I ask you what is the basic code for PHP, you will not know. How do you run a PHP code? You don't know. That means your skill level has gone down. We call this as de-skilling. Okay, in de-skilling, we don't talk about one person's knowledge getting reduced. We talk about a generation. When you're talking about de-skilling, now let's say your father knows to do something manually, but now in your generation, it is automated. After your father's period, okay, after your father's generation, the new generation of yours will not know the mechanism of how things are happening in that. So if there is a small repair, if there is a tiny thing that you have to do to repair a device, you wouldn't know because you don't know how the internal structures work. Your skill is not there. The skill which was there when your father was there was not transferred to you because you were into automated generation. You are the automated generation. So that skill is no more available, does not exist now. Okay, if it was not transferred to the next generation, that skill will not be there for the generation thereafter. That is called de-skill, right? So that is one of the effects of IoT. Okay, so they are talking about in the third paragraph. These devices, often called connected or smart devices, can sometimes talk to related devices for a process called machine-to-machine communication. That of the information they get from one another. So in IoT, two machines are going to communicate with each other. Humans does not know. Humans will get the final output, but how this output was generated, we don't know. This is of course very easy for humans. Advantages as well for some humans. For some, it is not. Okay, the people who create these IoT devices, people who make these devices, they are the ones who know the actual operation that is going to happen, how these machines are going to communicate, what algorithms are used. Everything is known by the person who developed it. So the number of people who know the technology is a handful. The majority will not know. In future, now if you see small kids, we say they are much smarter than us. Okay, they learn very quickly because of smartphones. Now, when we were small, when I was small, okay, not you all, maybe when you all were small, even there were no smartphones when you all were small, right? Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So when I was small, there were no button phones even. Okay? It was this cell phone, huge piece of equipment. Okay? We call this the Gadolbag, that type of phone when I was very small. And my parents did not own one. We did not have a phone at home, right? So when coming from that background now, when I see a mobile phone for the first time, I was doing my A levels or maybe O levels, yeah, when I saw a mobile phone. Okay, so until that period, we did not know what technology was, what can be done with technology, what are the things available with new technologies. We did not know. Now children, they just Google it and they find out so many things. Now I know these grade six students, grade six students who can make these Arduino projects. They make a truck run uh, in a particular line using sensors. They know what sensors are. They know what different sensors do, and they know what they cannot do and why. Like these kids are very smart now, right? Our kids,
Now toddlers know YouTube, no sir.
yeah, toddlers know. Even my daughter, she knows YouTube. If I just show her the screen, she will click on YouTube the icon and she will choose her videos. She's not even two now, right? So see, these things are good. Some things are good, but certain things are not very good. Why is that? These kids, they know when I click on this, this will happen, but they don't know how this is happening, and they don't even bother to know that, right? When we saw this new technology, we were like, oh my God, how are these things happening? How are, we try to find out. Okay, we are actually a DIY people, right? So if we cannot afford an equipment, we try to make it. Isn't that true? We all don't fall into that generation. Okay, in my period, if we cannot afford, we make it. We try to make it. We learn these technologies, and then we try to make it. Okay, so we learn because it was the technology was not available. Now the technology is available for everyone, free of charge. Now, if I when I wanted to learn Java programming, I had to go to an institute and learn this Java program. Now you can learn Java online, YouTube. Through YouTube, you can learn any programming language, free of charge. Technology is free to everyone now, right? Only the people who needs it will use it. Okay. So the majority of IoT is about the good side. The bad side is not many people will know how things work. They know what the things can do. They don't know how the things will do it. Okay, that is the only disadvantage that we have in IoT. Otherwise, everything is automated. Everything is easy for people. They can spend their time. They will have time is very precious. Right? They can spend that time for anything productive. If they are spending it for productive stuff, then it's a good thing. If they are making use of technology, getting a lot of free time and wasting that time, if they are wasting that time, that will not add up to the development of the devices or any technology any further. Is that clear, everyone?
Yes.
Uh,
Yes, sir.
I will come back to this. So just give me one second. Okay. So Internet of Things, from connecting devices to human value, from connection to benefits. Okay, we will start with one. Devices connection, IoT devices, IoT connectivity, embedded intelligence. So device connection and connectivity. Then two, data sensing and collection, capture data, sensors and types storage. Then data transportation and access. Focus on access networks, cloud, edge, and data transfer. So we are developing, number one, devices are developed using sensors because they are using these sensors because human intervention is not needed. We don't need human intervention. They are trying to reduce the involvement of humans when collecting data. So they make use of these sensors. Can you tell me the sensors that we have? We have motion sensors, right? We have infrared sensors. We have light sensors. We have echo sensor or sound echoing, ultrasound sensor, we call it. pressure sensors. I think. What else do we have? Sensors?
ECG, sir.
Yeah,
ECG.
ECG.
To
Okay.
measure to a
Yeah,
heart rate.
heart rate. So if you have seen the oximeter nowadays, they come with like false sensors now. They even work for pens, right? These oximeters. I got one down, but it's not working for pens, only for fingers. It's working.
Sir, that small, like a clip thing.
No, no. My
That's a waste of money, sir.
Yeah, my one is okay. I mean, like it's not working for defects or any pens or anything. But it's working for my finger. I think that is a good one. I got it down from abroad. Here, what you find in Sri Lanka, 6,000 rupees. It works for pen. 6,000 rupees. Wastage
So
of
where Daraz?
no pharmacy here. I went and asked for it. They showed me very nicely packed and very nicely. It looks very expensive, but it's not the real thing. Right? So those are the things. All right. So we'll get back to this after you sense the data or collect data. Okay, you use these devices, sensors, and collect this data. You send it to relevant places. Okay, this data should be sent to this place, this data should be sent to this place. And last week in the video, we saw how data are sent to this traffic details are sent to communication centers and schools and all those things, where the data should be sent. Okay, that is the transport part, that's the third one. Then we have data analysis. There is big data analysis, AI and cognitive analysis at the edge. And those are analyzing the data. Which data should be taken and which data should not be taken, which is important, which is not important. Those things will be analyzed. And after that, data value. Data value defined by action. So we see the value of data, which should be sent immediately, which should be sent later, which can be given higher priority, which should not be given higher priority. And at last, human value. There are some things, certain things that machines alone cannot do without a human intervention. And the last option of IoT is that they try to make it with the machines as far as possible, as much as possible. They try to do the whole thing with the machines. At last, at some point, we still need human intervention. Okay, so when humans interfere or the humans are benefited with these five parts, when they get these details from machines, that is Internet of Things, right? So this is a bird eye view of how IoT really works. Okay, fine. So let's get into the next one. The definition, of course, is not needed. We'll talk about the need.
Sir, in artificial intelligence, human intervention is not needed.
In artificial intelligence, they try to make it as much as possible to not make humans interfere. Only the humans will be getting only the benefits. They don't have to work. They don't have to think. That is the main aim of AI.
So one day robot will take over the world.
Yes, that is the disadvantage. That is what they fear. Because artificial intelligence is based on learning from mistakes, right? So when a machine makes a mistake once in AI, if you have really designed the neuro, what do you call that? Something related to neuro, okay? If that part is done correctly, the problem is the machines will learn from mistakes, and you won't be able to beat the machine. Humans will not be able to beat the machine because the machine will learn from mistakes. Every time it gets beaten by the human, it will learn. So after it learns, it will remember. Unlike humans, they remember everything. So they will not make the same mistake again. Ultimately, humans will be defeated and machines will take over. Now, in Indian movie, that was the information that was. I mean, the moral of the story was that humans,
So that was a real that's a real disadvantage, no, so not a joke.
not a joke. Yes, we saw the graphics and stuff was a joke, but the concept was real. That is the main thing that he wanted to deliver to the crowd. If you try to make AI and if you try to give them the dominance, they will take over. If they take over, that will be the end of humans. Everything will be robots. And we cannot defeat them either. Because they learn from every mistake, they know how to escape from any sort of things that humans try to do. Okay? So if they learn to defend themselves, they learn to defend themselves from physical damage even, then that will be the end. You can't physically even damage and stop them. Oh, scary.
It'll be like a transform movie.
Transform, exactly. Akkala is third. All right, so let's continue with the notes. I will write the need for this. Okay. Right. So if you see, they say IoT is playing a significant role in our lives and serving as an ecosystem which interconnects physical objects and systems in order to perform tasks smartly. It will be spread in every area to help improve lives in every aspect. All right. So, what is this, Razek?
Sir, just check that out, sir. Windows 11.
Oh,
Awesome website, sir. You can experience Windows 11.
seriously. We click on that and see. blueedge.me. Oh, it's a web version of it, right?
Yeah, sir, just for the experience. Like, it's awesome, sir, how they built it.
Nice.
We can even shut down.
Oh, there's a password.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just type something, so it'll work.
Is it possible to share the screen, sir? If you don't mind.
Windows 11. Okay. Oh, this is like Apple, right?
Yeah, sir, focused like Mac mostly.
Yeah.
So it's clean, no, sir? Like, not like Windows 10.
Oh, the applications. GitHub display main. Let's open Word and see. Oh, PowerPoint.
So some won't work, it's just like dummies, but I think Edge will work.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
All.
You need, yeah, sir. Just for the experience. So using React, so they are built using React JS.
Ah. Oh, it says blue here. Teams is also there.
Yeah, yeah.
The search.
So must install, sir, but still beta version, no. Scared.
Nice. It gives you an urge to install it, right? But I don't think my hardware will be supporting.
So you can check that also, so whether it's supported. There's a Microsoft official software for that.
Uh-huh.
It will scan your hardware and it will tell whether it's supported or not.
Oh, coming soon.
When is the launch?
I think official October 20th.
It is.
Ah,
Oh, already logged in as Amal ICT.
Yeah, I think a website cache or cookies.
Okay, my Google, Microsoft account is in this.
Yeah. The Amara, this one, no sir, like it's a real experience.
Yeah. Don't know what did they build this from?
React. What they built Facebook, so React is Java, someone.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Need to check that out. Mine is also exactly the same. When is September 16th on a Thursday? Posting notifications. Nice. Thank you. Just send me that link in the group. I can share with others.
Okay, so okay. I'll put in the group.
Okay. So getting into this IoT applications, why we need IoT, right? In the transportation industry, we saw in that video last week. Thank you. I just got it. Okay, in the last week's video, we saw how this transportation or the traffic light systems, how they communicate with each other, the camera system. And when there's a congestion, when there's a weather condition not relevant for driving, it will inform the workstations in that area, traffic system in that area, or it will also inform the drivers or vehicles if possible. Now, if you go some more further, okay, in the system you can read and understand this, but if you go some more further, there will be sensors. Now, last week we saw in a car, the detection, the diagnosis of the fault in a car can be detected using sensors, and that part will be available in the nearest uh, spare part shop. Okay, and here they will check the condition of the tire. The tire conditions can be checked, and whether it is uh, possible for us to drive a distance that we are planning to drive, or is it possible to uh, put your vehicle into the highway. These highway roads are these are very harmful for your tires. Though it is easy, those roads will quickly wear off your tires, right? So, how far is it how far is it good or bad to use your which is, the tires that you have at the moment. If the weather condition is bad, if it is snowing and if it is slippery, it can tell you. Or if there's an accident and you cannot move in that road, if you're trying to go in that road, it will let you know. And the traffic light system also can change, right? According to that, there will be billboards. Now, if you see in the highway, they are using IoT a bit. If there is a traffic congestion in the highway, in the LED screens, they will show you, right? They will tell you that there is a accident-prone area or accident occurred at this much distance. So drive safely or drive slowly, or take the left and use only the left lane or something like that. Okay. So those messages will be displayed automatically. Okay. These messages are displayed automatically. There the cameras will go capture these details, and accordingly the messages will be displayed. Okay. So these are complex systems, and they can communicate with other countries also. When all the countries smart systems communicate with each other, IoT will be playing a very major role on that, right? Then medical industries. Uh, have you seen the insulin? My mother, she was a diabetic. Okay, she was a diabetic, and when her diabetic level was increased, they fixed this machine to her, right? Which is going to have a needle pricked all the time to her stomach. Needle will be pricked, okay, and her blood sugar level will be monitored continuously with sensors, right? And there will be a huge syringe of uh, what do you call, insulin fixed to that device. Okay, huge syringe of device fixed to that that device. So whenever her sugar level goes up, the necessary amount of insulin will be injected through that needle. Okay, necessary amount of insulin will be injected through the needle. So her sugar level will be kept constant. It will be maintained at 90. Okay, so those are also devices which use sensors, and without we having to check the sugar level all the time, we can just fix that machine to that patient, and they will be what do you call? They'll be using this device alone to maintain the sugar level, right? So that is one of the things that is there in the patient. So this remotely examining patients by doctors. Doctors going to remotely examine patients and see what they are going to do. Okay, what they need to do. If the patient needs any assistance, or if the patient tries to uh, do unnecessary things, it can be detected. Like maybe if the patient is not supposed to walk or talk too much, that also can be detected, right? So the doctors can also monitor the patient all the time. But do we have any disadvantages in this medical systems? Having the patient at home and checking them?
Technical, I mean, technical errors, maybe.
Technical errors, maybe.
Sudden
Yeah, if you
electricity
latency,
goes like
data is not traveling on time, right? Maybe in real time you need things, right? These remote surgeries are also happening these days. So everything has to be on real time. Has to happen on real time, in real time, actually. All right. So if you see these patients who are undergoing surgeries, major surgeries remotely, doctor will be elsewhere and the patient will be somewhere else. Through internet, the patient will be operated by the doctor. So that is also uh, with the use of internet. So if the internet connection fails or anything goes wrong, the patient will be there stuck with some needles inside the. You know how remote surgery is done. Have you seen?
So that on a video call.
Yeah, on a video call, a surgery is done.
Yeah, sir. I have seen.
Usually they will have a robotic arm which will be controlled by the doctor, and he will look at a screen and do the surgery. Okay, I will just share.
I need 5G for that, sir.
Yeah, we need 5G for that. Yes, exactly. We share the sound as well.
其实5G呢，就是让我们可以做到在很多场合，比如说救灾的场合，还有一些像边防上，还有一些呢，就是说像我们将来的基层和大型医院的连接，我们完全可以做到，就是让外科医生做到一个标准化的术式，一个人可以去做几千公里，或者是那个几百公里，各种各样的这样点对点的一些连接。
Okay. So those are remote surgeries you can do with medical field, right? So all these
So
are
that's in
yeah,
2019, right?
yeah. When they introduced.
Um,
So now, of course, in Sri Lanka, only Navaloka and Lanka Hospital does that. I don't think other hospitals have this remote surgery facility. 2 hospitals in Sri Lanka, Navaloka and Lanka Hospital, as far as I know.
so
And
they use 5G for that?
they use 5G in that area. I don't know how they use, but
There are some
5G,
towers in Sri Lanka.
they are not using 5G here. That is because the patients are not operated by doctors in a different location. The doctor will be in the next room actually. Okay.
Okay.
So they perform in that way. So foreign doctors doing the surgeries, those things we need 5G. Okay. Doctors from other countries, if they are trying.
Sir, what's the use from next room? He can come to this room, no, sir.
The thing is this: if you do, when you are doing this remote surgery, it's actually not it's from another country. Remote actually means we are not going to cut the patient's body. It's going to insert 3 needles, 1 for the light, 2 for the 2 arms. So less cutting and chopping during the surgery, because the robotic arm is only going to do the surgery, the doctor will be outside. That is why they call it remote.
So you mean for the accuracy?
No, no, not the accuracy is one thing. I mean, like when you need to do a bypass or when you need to do a let's say a small surgery like removing your intestine, this not intestine, your appendicitis.
Yes, sir. Okay.
For that, usually they cut your skin, right? They cut through your stomach and they remove the appendicitis, right? But here you will be only left with a small wound, like a small patch of wound. They don't cut your skin open. They don't open because that is more recommended because when the skin is open, you should make sure that no germs enter at that moment. When you have to keep the area clean and a lot of thing issues. So remote surgery is recommended for small surgeries like this if the doctor is an experienced person. And the shivering effect is highly reduced. If the doctor is shivering, if he's too old now, if you see, nowadays, old doctors, they're still working. They're not retired. They're still working. And this shivering effect now, this happened. There was this doctor who is now not living. He was doing surgeries until he was 94. He died when he was 94. Until that, he was doing surgeries. Right? At Suleiman's hospital, he used to be there. Dr. Jayawardhan. Right? So, at the uh, last few years, his hand was shivering actually. Hand shivered. And there was a major problem. Okay? This happened to my grandfather actually. So his toe was to be amputated, and more than what is required was removed from the leg. And he uh, justified that by saying that there was another area which he did not diagnose at the beginning, so he had to cut it off without asking us. That is what he said. So we couldn't say anything to the doctor. Right? But the patient, I mean the nurse or the people who are working, the assistants, they told us the truth, what happened. But no one was willing to, come out with it in public. So this is the problem with older doctors. So that effect is highly reduced in this remote surgery because the robot does not, it will detect that whether it is a precise movement or a shiver. If it is a shiver, it will not react. Okay, so those are smart devices. Fine. In manufacturing industries, they say the idea behind IoT tools in manufacturing industries is to attach sensors to their devices and collect data from customers. This data can be used to guide for the prospective maintenance of assets. So, if you are going to manufacture a product, after you manufacture, you have to get the feedback from the customers. Customers' feedback to make sure to decide whether you are going to continue making it in that quality or you need to improve the quality or you can change certain things in your product according to the user's needs. So a mechanism of getting the feedback from the customers is used in manufacturing industries to make sure their products are improving on a day-to-day basis, right? Then hospitality in hotel industries. Uh, if you see when you are connected to certain parts of this government uh, application, Now, if you have a government application, this is in the future. I don't know whether it exists in certain countries. Using face recognition, I can tell the person's name, his address, where he lives, his age, everything I can tell from the face using face recognition. So when somebody is caught on camera, everything regarding that person will be listed down very quickly. Okay, so when a person, let's say you are going to a certain hotel, okay, nowadays if you go to a hotel, if you go to that hotel, will they identify you by your name until you tell it? No. But in this system, if the hotel system is connected with the government system, when you are entering the premises of the hotel itself, the face will be recognized and your details, where you are working, your uh, ability to, or your affordability of the room, what kind of room you can afford, everything can be detected. This is not here, okay, but this technology, if you use it correctly, if you can link them properly, this can be done, right? So the hotel guy knows when you're coming itself, this is you, and what kind of room you will be expecting. Okay, so in rooms also they are saying in the future, emotion can be captured. Emotions can be captured. I don't know how far that is going to be true, but if it is, if we can imagine it, yes, of course you can create it, right? Anything that you cannot create will not be imagined. That is what I believe, right? So
The
earlier,
emotion.
no. If you can, no, emotion, detecting emotions.
So what about cameras? Like
That's what I don't know, but this is in the future, they say, right?
So, but privacy is a question, no, sir.
Yeah.
Privacy is a question, right? I
Privacy.
mean, the camera will be in the room, right?
Emotion, yeah. These cameras, they cannot be fixed in hotels. Hotel rooms, of course, we cannot fix cameras. So maybe sensors to detect emotions, maybe. But still, that is going to be a problem. People don't go to the room and just sit and wait, right? There are so many things that can happen inside a room. So,
yeah.
so we can't say this is going to be a good thing or a bad thing, whether the public would accept it or not can be a question. So maybe in a lobby area, maybe in the balcony, yes. Yeah, those areas you can.
Sir, this was a thing, no, sir, like funny, like cameras through clothes.
To clothes.
Yeah, sir, like when we put that camera, no, a glass. Is
Ah,
that available, sir?
I don't know. They say it is available, but X-ray glasses, right? They call that X-ray glasses.
Yes, I think it will be available nowadays. No.
Yeah, maybe there will be people who can make it, right? So there is this theory which says anything that is imagined can be achieved. So they imagined it earlier.
Yeah, sir, yeah.
So
I
now,
believe in that too.
yes,
Sir, now who would have believed about smartphone like 30, 40 years ago, sir?
yeah, but there was this statement by a person in very old days. I don't know where I saw it, maybe in Facebook. A very 1960 or 1940s newspaper. He has mentioned that a phone company. He has mentioned that in future there will be phones without buttons, to which people will be more addicted. and they will be controlling the whole world through that device. That is what he said. That is happening now. When you go to Facebook, you don't come out very easily.
Yeah, so the next big thing is a teleportation, I guess.
Yes. Maybe he went to the future and came back and he mentioned that. You can't say.
Yeah, sir. So
Time,
you are saying a time traveling also a thing.
yeah, time traveling. Yeah, there was this photograph which convinced me a little bit about time traveling. Where Muhammad Ali's match. During a Muhammad Ali's match, one person had in the crowd had a smartphone taking photographs of the match. They say from the future he has gone there to the past and come back. He was having a smartphone to capture the match. During
So when like Muhammad Ali fought like when
he was in
a very long time ago, no?
60s. Muhammad Ali, like,
So Photoshop.
yeah, Photoshop maybe, can't say. People can do so many things with Photoshop. Even we can insert something, right, into a photo. But I don't know. Time traveling, if time traveling was true, uh, future can be predicted. If we can go out to the future and come back and say this will happen in future, and if it happens, we become God. Right? You
I
know
said,
how
what if we go to the future and there's no future, so we can't come back?
good one, yeah. Can't say. Maybe machines will be dominating, like the Terminator, and we'll get shot in the future.
Yeah, sir.
Can't say things can happen. Maybe we can, if we can, like control us going and coming back, then of course that's a good thing, right? But
So more than time traveling, stopping the time is awesome, no, sir?
stuffing the time reminds me of certain things. Okay, all right.
So,
Now see, uh, teleportation. You teleporting from one area to another. Scientifically, if you see, our body is a set of vibrating atoms, right? Cell is the smallest unit, but smaller than that is the atom. So in the atom, the electron is always moving. So we are actually vibrating at the moment. We don't feel it because at the level of atoms, we are vibrating. And there is a possibility for us to break these atoms separately and break it out of our body separately. So if we can break all the atoms in our body separately and move in midair, right? If we can break our atoms separately and move and re, I mean, reassemble those atoms in the same way in another area, that is teleportation, right? So if we can,
Yes.
if we can control our body, if our mind can control our body in such a way that we can break the atoms and move to any location, and again, we can go to any place. We can teleport to any place, right? So if I have from my small ages, I had this fantasy of teleporting. There was a small TV serial that we watched, teleporters, yeah, teleporters, where people can disappear and appear in another place. So I always wanted to do that. I wanted to go to another country and come back, or go to a supermarket, steal something and come back. Those were my imagination. Okay? Maybe in future that will be also possible, right? So these are things which they plan now. Earlier, aeroplane flying, man flying was a dream, and plane was invented. Aeroplane was invented. Now people are flying, right? We don't know what will come in the future. All depends on IoT. Okay. Now the next one is a simple IoT application to construct a remote switch. Now in this we will be using Arduino to create a remote switch, right? So I will just show you a video on a person doing this. A small boy is doing this, and we'll watch that video and we'll conclude the class. Okay.
Viral Science, the home of creativity.
Hey friends, welcome back to the channel everyone. This is Viral Dodi and you're watching Viral Science. In this video, I will show you how to make a home automation system that can be controlled with Google Assistant. Yes, so I will show you how it works. Okay Google, LEDs on.
Turning on LED.
Okay Google, LED off.
Turning LED off.
Okay Google, fan on.
Turning fan on.
Okay Google, turn off fan.
Turning fan off.
Okay Google, light on.
Turning light on.
Okay Google, turn light off.
Turning light off.
So this is how it works. So let's get started. So friends, this is the circuit diagram for our today's project. I have converted it into PCB. If you are using relay modules, the circuit diagram will be this simple. This is the same circuit diagram which we have used in our previous home automation video. You can also check it out. So this is the previous home automation video. The circuit diagram for these two videos are the same. So for PCBs, I am visiting the website jlcpcb.com. These websites offer 10 pieces of PCB for just $2. So upload your Gerber file here and order your PCB. Link to download the PCB file is in the description down below, so you can check it out. So here I have received my PCBs. So let's quickly unbox it. So now we have got all the components and PCB ready for the project. So let's quickly solder all the components on our PCB. I'm using this power bank to supply 5 volts to our PC. Link to download this code is in the description of this video, so you can check it out. Now download all these libraries. I'm using digital pin 1, 2, 3 and 4 to trigger our relay. So this is the code. Now quickly jump to the website adafruitio.com. Now click on Get Started. Now fill up your details and enter your Gmail ID. And click on Create Account. Now close this and again open the Adafruit.io website. Now click on this action button and create your new dashboard. Enter the name of your dashboard and also description of it. Now open your dashboard and click on this plus symbol, that is add symbol. We will add buttons to it. We are using these toggle buttons. Enter the name of your button, that is relay 1, relay 2, relay 3 and relay 4. And also make sure that the name of this button should be same as written in the Arduino code. Now select any one button and change on and off switches to zeros and 1. 1 is to on the switch and 0 is to off the switch. These are the binary numbers. And do this for every button. Now click on this settings button and now we will rearrange the buttons on our dashboard. Now open the Arduino code and enter your Wi-Fi name and your Wi-Fi password. So now here we will add our name and key. So to get it, open the Adafruit IO, select on this key symbol and copy and paste username and active key. So now we have completed all the settings of Adafruit IO. So now compile the code and upload it to your Node MCU board. So now open this IFTTT website and sign in to this website with your same Gmail ID. Now go to My Applets and create a new applet. Click on If This button. Now search for Google Assistant. Open it and click on Connect. Here sign in with the same Gmail ID. Click on Allow and select this first option. So now here we will write the commands which we will say to Google Assistant to trigger our relay. Now click on Create Trigger. Make sure everything you have written is correct. Now click on that button. Now search for Adafruit. Click on Connect. Authorize this. Now here we will choose this and we will choose relay 1 as relay 1 is for LED. Select 1 as we will on this relay. So in this way we have created our first applet to switch on the LED. Now we will create another to switch off the LED. Again make sure you select relay 1 and select 0 as 0 is to off the LED. So in this way we have got the two applets to switch on and switch off the LEDs. Similarly we will make such applets for all the relays, 2 for each relay. Make sure you select relay 2 for this and select 1 to switch on. So now we have created 4 applets for 2 relays to switch on and switch off. Similarly, you will do this for 4 relays. Till then, I will tell you how this works. This works on conditional statements, if this and then that. in if this command we have said Google Assistant. So if we will say any command to Google Assistant, then the following, then that command will be activated in Adafruit IO. And this will send signals to our Node MCU board through internet. So now finally we have created 8 applets, 2 for each relay to switch on and switch off. So to check it's working or not, go to Adafruit IO and power your PCB. So now you can click on 1 and 0 to on and off the relays, and you can identify that the corresponding LED is switching on and off. So before connecting any high voltage appliances to our board, you can also check it with Google Assistant. Okay Google, turn LED on.
Turning on LED.
So now I have connected lights and fans with our board. So let's see how it works. Okay Google, LED on.
Turning on LED.
Okay Google, turn off LED.
Turning LED off.
Okay Google, turn on light.
Turning light on.
Okay Google, turn off light.
Turning light off.
Okay Google, fan on.
Turning fan on.
Okay Google, turn fan off.
Turning fan off.
I guess we have to say okay Google before turning on and off. Anyways, so that will be about constructing a remote switch, that part. Okay, and we can write a small description on that later. And the Arduino part we will discuss tomorrow. Is it possible to have the class from 10 to 12 tomorrow? Tomorrow 10 to 12? Can we have it from 10 to 12 tomorrow?
Yeah, sir.
So 10, 12, sir, tomorrow. We might have, sometimes we might not have, sir.
What class?
Accounts.
Just let me know if you have it. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Fine. So 10 to 12 is the time for now.
Okay.
The accounts class we will see.
Okay, sir.
All right then. So we shall wind up the session. Thank you very much for coming. I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Good night.
Thank you, sir.
Bye, sir. Good night. Good night, sir.